Millions of people no longer own their house owns them. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, welcome to the channel. If you're new, I want to thank you for coming. If you're returning, I want to thank you for your continued support. Before we get into today's red hot topic, I'm going to politely ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Please watch to the end for my final thought. Hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos are released. It's very important to stay close to the channel in these very, very tricky times. All right, folks, welcome to the channel. It's always an honor and a privilege to be with you. I hope you're all doing great. Buckle up and strap in. I got a hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows and sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. And folks, people no longer own their homes. Their homes own them. This is insanity what we continue to have to talk about here at the channel. I laugh at this stuff. It's like a built-in self-defense mechanism to wrap my head around what's exactly going on here, friends. And I've seen this movie before. It's all playing out very similar as we saw before. And the realities are, friends, is that is exactly what's going on. Like I've talked about before, as a trained salesman, is trained in the psychology of sales, the psychology of people, what's happening to people right now. I've talked about this before. When I'm selling a house, and I've walked in these shoes. Don't think I haven't walked in them myself. Half the reason I'm here right now, ringing the bell and sounding the alarm the way we've been doing, because I know how this thing works. The second you buy a house, it becomes all about the house. You're stuck to this house. Every weekend you're at the big box store buying paint or a doorknob or a flower or whatever you can. It's just all about the house. You no longer own the house. It ends up owning you. And like I've said before, I also know as a trained salesman, there's a saying in sales, buyers will buy every step of the way. So like for me, I've worked with so many buyers, and in the majority of buyers, like you said, there's a lot of buyers that just, they don't know what to do. And so I know how to get them to see if they're actually serious about buying. Give them another step. Like I said, buyers buy every step of the way. So the first step might be showing you a house, and then the second step might be say, let's write an offer on the house. A step each time to move them closer to their goal. A lot of people need help. Now, I love doing this for people, but the thing I didn't really love doing was walking people into over asking price offers, competing with others with FOMO. I was never okay with that. Selling houses remotely without ever even meeting the person face to face. Not normal. Waiving inspections and contingencies, rolling the dice, don't even know the health of the property. Not okay with that either. So the realities are, friends, is what we're seeing now is people, not only do they not own the house owns them simply because of the pressure they put on themselves to buy the house. And once they get the house, all they can think about is the house. It's natural. I mean, it makes sense, right? But this is the worst part. This is how the house really starts to own us. Is when the house is no longer worth what we paid. And like we've talked about throughout this buyer herd mentality, the euphoria, approximately 10 million people went out and bought in that. 10 million people went and paid over asking price, over appraised value. So they were immediately, in many cases, at a break even, and maybe even an upside down if you factor in if they were going to try to sell. Closing costs, all the fees, everything that comes along with it, you wouldn't even break even. So now as we see the flip occur, the flip-flop, the cool-off, this potential crash that's around the corner, but even if we don't, and I personally just think there's just no way this sustains itself, it's going to have at minimum a correction. A recession is possible, and a full-blown depression can't be ruled out. In fact, probably the highest likelihood as we're in the depression cycle. But even with that aside, let's just say we just go along with the rainbows and sunshine content creators out there pulling from data that's lagging behind, trying to tell us what's going on with the housing market. The reality is that people that bought in the height of the bubble, 10 million people are now watching their houses no longer be able to sell what they bought them for. Because why? Because people are no longer going over asking price, even asking price offers the way they once were. This is trending the opposite direction. This is trending the wrong way, depending on how you're looking at it. Now, for a lot of us who got on the sidelines and said, hey, I think I'll sit this one out, let the dust settle, see how this one shakes out, and maybe play it safe and not drink the Kool-Aid and go all in and overpay to do it. And like I said, I'm going to help you people that did this. Like I said, my goal is to help every single person out there. I don't care if you just bought, I don't care if you're on the side. I will always be here to help. So I don't want you guys to think I'm all on one side. I'm not. And I'll change my mind. If I see something that changes my mind, I will change it. But right now, I'm not changing my mind. How could I? I mean, look at what's going on. So the realities are, friends, as the housing market cools, and these people that put all their pressure to buy this house no longer own the house. It's owned them from the second they wrote that offer. And once they stuck the house, then now they've been spending all their money down at the big box store, upgrading and fixing the house, furnishing the house, whatever. And now we're just seeing, you know, as they're running on fumes because their purchasing power is shrinking as inflation continues to kill it. Many Americans, 75%, in fact, I believe, is living paycheck to paycheck. Like one hiccup, one flat tire away from a tailspin. That's not good. That is not good. I'm shocking myself just talking about this, but the reality is where the house is really going to start to own most of these people is when they're upside down in their purchase, meaning they can no longer sell the asset for what they bought it for. And that's why I've always been more concerned about owning other people's house than my own. I believe you should be willing to live in a shoebox, a park bench, a car to go buy a rental property, sacrifice now to reap the rewards later. 95% of all millionaires made their money in real estate, but it wasn't by buying at the height of a real estate bubble. It definitely wasn't by buying at the height of a super bubble, the biggest bubble ever recorded in world history in the way it was produced artificially through market manipulation. The kicker to this one, that's the shocking one for this one, for me, friends. So what I really want to help you understand right now, friends, and especially you're going to know if it's not you, many people that are exactly in the situation we just talked about. And the realities are you will rise from the ashes for this. It does not have to ruin you. You can, in fact, learn important. Like for me, I went through this before. I know exactly how this feels firsthand, and I don't regret having gone through it because what I've learned has become so clearly valuable to me. But I certainly don't want to go through it again. I'm going to navigate many people through this crisis. And we thought we were getting through a crisis. Like I said, just because you have your masks off, it's not all rainbows and sunshine. We can clearly see that. Many people are nervous. That wealth effect, that funny money, that stimulus made everybody feel good for a second. But I knew there was just no way. I never put all my eggs in that one basket. I knew that this brave new world, this new normal that they tried to push on us was in fact built on a house of cards and it wouldn't sustain itself. We will get back to a lot of the basics that we need to get back to. Unfortunately, this will reshape the landscape of many things moving forward. We'll have a lot to talk about. It'll be a lot of fun. And again, it's always going to be only a prepared mind is going to see the opportunity. If you drink the Kool-Aid again and follow the masses, the mainstream media narratives, you're just going to be led into the next crisis potentially. This is going to be stepping outside of what the masses are doing and thinking, being a free thinker, forward thinker. In final thoughts, friends, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, somebody who wants to see not only win in real estate, win in life, knowing buying in the biggest real estate bubble ever artificially produced in world history probably isn't going to provide that. Buying outside the bubble for potentially pennies on the dollar will. My job is to continue to get you forward thinking, critical thinking, understanding that this thing has to play out and there's just nothing we can do to really change that other than prepare ourselves mentally for what's coming. And what's coming could be potentially awesome opportunity for the people that in fact admitted that this thing, I would say, first step of getting past a problem, admit there's a problem. So if you admit there's a problem, you are one step closer to winning in this one. I will do my best to continue to navigate you. I don't want to see you buy something and then have that purchase own you. You need to be in control ultimately at the end of the day. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Social media links are in the description of this video. If you'd like to contact me there, along with links to other channels I've appeared on, I think you might enjoy. If you're interested in buying or selling real estate here in America, there's an email for you as well. I have top agents ready to assist you, and I'd be honored to do that. If you're watching from your television set today, another Video is coming in your screen at this time with an easy subscribe icon. Please take a look at the affiliate links that come alongside this channel and offer you guys great deals and programs, all in the description below. As always, please go make a count today. I'll see you on the next video.